guys, it's Amber. So I was getting ready to work out and I was like, why not just, since I'm getting in my workout clothes already, do a fitness update for my 3S Fitness. So about 2.5 months ago, Abby Esbenshade, who is now O'Keefe because she got married, congratulations Abby, she approached me and asked me if I wanted to try out and review their fitness program. So I did an initial review after my first 2 weeks, which I will link up here. And then after about a month, I did another update and I also shared some tips for hiding your belly if you have a struggle in the belly area and just some overall tips for dressing. Today, I'm just going to give you guys my thoughts on this after doing this program for just over 2 months, some of my progress, and so we'll just go ahead and jump right in. So first of all, I had a baby in August, and so I did not take any measurements right after I had a baby because obviously that's not fair. You're going to lose just some of that weight right off just from, you know, all the stuff that changes right after you have your baby. So when it was the middle of September and I found out I was going to be starting the program, I took some body measurements. And then I just took some body measurements today, so that's what we're going to be comparing from. Before I get into that, I wanted to share a little bit about what I think about the program. First of all, I think that she has put a lot of thought and effort into this program, and I do think it's something that's kind of evolving. So every month I've had a different workout plan, and that has been really nice because I like switching it up. And the first week I do an exercise routine. Of course, it's taking me longer because I'm trying to like figure out what the moves are, and there have been moves that I've never seen or done before, which is awesome, but they were easy and I did them at home. I don't have a gym membership, so these are all things that I did at home. And I was sore in places I didn't know I could be sore. Like, I was sore in my love handles. I was sore on like the muscle that runs up inside of your knees. I was like, how could I be sore inside my knees? Like, I didn't even know that was possible. And over the month, the moves would get a little easier as my body got a little stronger. That way, when you switch it up in the next month, then your body is kind of guessing again and doing new things. I have noticed an overall increase in strength, which has been nice. I've had a little bit more muscle tone and definition, and I have had some weight loss. Some of my successes were obviously obtaining some progress, which I'll share with you at the end, but also just feeling like it's okay to be where I'm at. It's okay that I don't feel like my body's in the perfect state. I'm not going to be this crazy transformation that goes from I just had a baby to 2 months later having these rock hard abs. I mean, that's just not what it's going to be. But I feel like I've achieved real results. I feel like I've been able to try to help change my mindset about fitness and eating because it is hard. It is hard as a woman to feel the pressure to be or look a certain way, just in a societal issue. There's no one personally like my family or my friends that, you know, say rude things or anything to me that give me that negative context. But I just think in the world overall, sometimes we as women struggle with our personal image in regards to how our bodies look. And that's one thing that I really appreciate that Abby tries to teach is that it's not just about how you look, it's about how you feel. And so she has these little courses that she goes through during the month, whether it be on self-love or whether it be about anxiety or different things to kind of help you heal your inside of your body while you're working the outside of your body. And I thought that was a great success. I really enjoyed the Facebook group. I've taken over their Snapchat a few times. That has been really fun. For those of you who are wondering, my Snapchat is girlbtc09. I don't snap a ton because I really only have like 5 people who watch my snaps. You know, you can see that. Maybe if you guys will follow me, I'll snap a little bit more. How does that sound? Taking over their Snapchat was really fun, and watching other people's snaps was really fun because it just cycles through. And it's funny because it's not just like influencers like me that get asked. Like any person that's part of 3S Fitness can go on their Snapchat, which I like because it's nice to see people like me that are people who do YouTube and that kind of stuff. But it's also nice to like build friendships and relationships with these other people that are just regular women and just aren't in the public eye as far as social media and YouTube goes, that are just trying to better themselves and improve their health and fitness. And it's been a good positive experience for me. I would say the one thing that I've struggled with the most is probably being on target with my macros. I find that I did really well with this in the beginning, but it's been a little bit of a struggle for me because I'm still learning. I'm still learning what foods go where, and I struggle with this time of year because I'm going to my family's houses and we're eating things and I'm like, oh my gosh, how do I add up all the macros for all the stuff that I'm eating? But I can say that this is the first holiday season, I think ever since before I didn't struggle with my weight, that I have not gained weight during the holidays, like ever. And in fact, I not only didn't gain weight, I lost weight. So even though I've struggled and I felt like some days I failed, and even though some days I didn't get a workout in, I still lost weight. Like, I still did it. And I just am thinking, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Because of the way the macro system works, it's not like you can't eat anything. So I was able to gauge what I want to eat during the day and make allowances for those things that I only get once a year at a holiday time that I really want to eat. I want to have a little bit, but it's also the difference between like having Thanksgiving dinner and a piece of pie once and eating Thanksgiving dinner for the next 7 days. I didn't do that. I just had it that one day and it was like, okay, that was great. That was delicious. Thank you so much. Didn't count my macros today. But then the next day I kept going and I kept trying and I tried to get closer to my macros and I tried to do the very best I can. The other thing is I was much more consistent with my workouts. I don't know that I've ever really worked out during the holidays because I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna gain weight anyway, so why even bother? Like, I worked out on Thanksgiving Day. I don't think that has ever happened before, ever. I always saw like the gyms saying like, oh, come work out and have your turkey, run or blah, blah, and I was like, really? Who works out on Thanksgiving? I did. I worked out on Thanksgiving and I still made homemade rolls. So there you go. Like, I'm really proud of the fact that even though figuring out my food and my macros has been a little bit of a struggle, I've still had a positive outcome. So it's like, wow, even with the struggles I've had, my progress is still building, which is amazing. And I do think that learning how to fuel your body properly is something that takes time, and it's not something you're going to get right away. And I have a hard time too, because some people will be consistent about like eating one meal for breakfast, one meal for lunch, one meal for dinner. I just can't do that. So I'm always just trying to refigure out things, and it's a learning curve, but I definitely have learned a lot. Now, as far as the workouts go, I talked a little bit about them, but they have been challenging and they've been different. Some days I have like what feels like a lot of exercises to do. Sometimes I have a few short exercises, but I'm supposed to do as many rounds as possible, and I just keep doing those same ones over and over. And so it's always a little bit different, and so it mixes it up enough. And I've had days where I'm like, oh, I think I can only do one round. I might have like 8 exercises to do, and I think I can only do this once. How am I gonna do this circuit 3 times? I just like, okay, I'm gonna do it once. And then I think, okay, now I'll just start with the easiest ones and I'll do those. And I'm like, well, now I only have half left and now I can do these. And then sometimes I have to piece it together piece by piece because I get tired and I have a newborn and it's hard. But after I finish it, I feel so much better. And yes, there have been days where I've had sick kids. There have been days where the workout didn't happen. I was struggling for one reason or another. But the bottom line is no matter how much I felt like I failed the day before, I always try to start over first the next day and get back in there. And I always had a schedule, and I always had the app reminding me, which was a great help, because there are some days that I was like, I don't know if I should work out, and it's like, ding, reminder to do your body rock today, and you're like, oh, yeah, that. I wish I could say I'm someone who just loves exercise, but it is something that I struggle with, and that's why I ended up gaining weight, is because I struggle finding what works for me. But this has made it more enjoyable because it's something that I can do in my own time. I don't feel like these exercises are taking me half the day. This month especially, I felt like the exercises have been concise, high intensity, but something I can get done in 20 or 30 minutes. And that has been really helpful for me because I feel like I can't always take 2 hours out of my day to drive to the gym and then do this and do that. And I'm hoping to hit it a little harder in January, but I am really happy with how far I've come. All right, so now I'll get to the point of, did it work? How much did I lose? What were my age goals? And I'll let you guys know. So over the course of the last few months, I have lost almost 7 pounds. And I say that because you get those like little points on your scale. And yes, my weight does fluctuate a tiny bit day to day. And a lot of that is with your food and your water and what time of the month it is and all those kind of things. So there is a little bit of fluctuation. That's why I say about 7 pounds. I am so happy with that. I feel really good about it. I'm thankful that I was able to achieve those results. So now, something that I haven't shared before is I'm going to go into some of my actual inches lost. So since my first measurements, I measured, and I'll show you guys. I measured around my waist right here, which usually stays a little smaller. This is pretty much where my ribs are right here. And this part right here is where I end up gaining the most weight. So from my waist part right here, I have lost a full inch. And then I measure two places right here. I actually measure at my belly button, which is right here. And then I measure at the largest part of my stomach, which is right here. So right here across my belly button, I have lost, wait for it, 3 inches. 3 inches off where my belly button is. Like, can you guys even imagine? That's like, and then from my largest part of my stomach right down here, I have lost 2.5 inches. So you can see like those combined, you know, it's getting quite slimmer right through there on my silhouette. So as far as my hips go, I have lost about 1 inch in my hips, and I've only lost about 1/2 inch in my thighs. My thighs are a little bit more of a problem area, but I also think that they're getting stronger and more like toned looking. So even though I haven't lost inches, I'm not too discouraged because I feel like a lot of that is like building that muscle back up and the fat's still there. So I need to do a little more fat burning and then it'll kind of slim out it. Does that make sense? Like kind of in that in-between stage. I do feel like I'm gaining some more of the muscle tone in my arm. I'm starting to get a little of the definition here as well as more of my bicep there. I also feel like my tricep, that is a big problem area for women too. This is starting to get a little more toned and I don't feel like that's as flabby, which is awesome. So I'll go ahead and insert a before and after picture. So overall, I'm really happy with my results. I would definitely recommend checking out 3S Fitness if you feel like you're just in a plateau and you need the help and support and the push to get you up every morning. They also have things like accountability buddies. You can just make friends with people in the Facebook group and have them text you. When you first sign up, you get a 30-minute consultation with Abby, so you can tell her, like a video chat, what your problem areas are, talk to her about those kind of things, and just have a one-on-one with her. So overall, did it work? Yes, it worked. And I honestly am so grateful for this opportunity. I feel like this really gave me the push and the incentive I needed to lose weight during the holidays, people. I lost weight and I had Thanksgiving dinner. Like, how is that even possible? It's consistency. And something that I really thought about is it's like one healthy meal is not going to make me lose weight. One bad meal isn't going to make me gain it either. But it just becomes when that bad food becomes a repetitive habit every day, it's going to be gaining weight. And it's when that healthy food becomes repetitive every day, it's when you're going to start to lose. So that's something I've kept in mind. And yes, I have cheated a little and ate things that I probably shouldn't have and enjoyed some of the holiday goodness. Also pick wisely the things that are worth it to me. Like, okay, if someone has some Chips Ahoy cookies, no shade to Chips Ahoy, but that's not something I'm like, ooh, yes, I really want to eat that. Is it worth the sugar and the calories to me to eat that? Is it worth my macros? No. But it's like, if I see something that it's like, okay, that is delicious and I love it, I have a small piece in moderation. I don't feel like I'm depriving myself, but it's worth it to me. I don't want to just eat stuff mindlessly that I don't really like just because it's like, oh, it's here, I'm just gonna eat this. So my next goal is to become better with working on my macros. And also I want to make sure I'm drinking enough water. There were a few days that I got headaches from not drinking water enough. So I want to make sure that I'm drinking enough water. Stay tuned and I'll let you guys know how things are going for me in January. And thanks so much for watching. I will leave Abby's links and the information you need in the description box below. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Thanks so much for joining me and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.